Hi guys, I'm Al from elbowpepper.com. Last year we ordered our organic garlic. We planted it out and this summer we harvested it. But we're not done. Now it's time to weigh it, to cure it, to store it, to preserve it, and to select some that we're going to plant for the upcoming year. If you'll recall, I bought originally 4 pounds of seed garlic. So from those 4 pounds, I was able to plant out 42 cloves at my home, which averaged a 2-ounce size in the yield that I got from them. At the community garden, I planted out 118 cloves, which were around 2.2 ounces in size. So in total, those 4 pounds of seed garlic ended up planting out 160 bulbs, which totaled 21.6 pounds. Is that a good yield? Well, that was somewhere between a 5 to 6-fold increase. Now, if you're an experienced gardener, if you have ideal growing conditions, you could find yourself getting up to a 10-fold yield from whatever you plant. But even still, 5 to 6, I think that's pretty good. The curing process is important because this is what allows bulbs to be able to seal themselves off from the outside. That way they can minimize moisture loss and they can even protect themselves from disease. But if you do this properly, then you're going to see much better shelf life with these garlic bulbs. Of course, when you pull them out, some of them may be damaged or even partially rotted. You want to discard any cloves that are like that. Out of a bulb that's partly damaged, there may be some good cloves, and you can take and use those immediately in a recipe, or you can go to some long-term preservation method. For example, you could use them in a pickling recipe. But in order to do the curing, you want to make sure that you leave the plants completely intact. Don't cut off the roots, don't even pull the dirty skin off of the bulbs, and definitely don't cut the stems yet. During this curing process, your garlic is going to need good air circulation. You want to keep it out of direct sunlight. You want to avoid getting it wet or exposing it to high humidity. But by doing this and keeping it at a temperature between 72 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit, you should find that it's cured in as little as 2 weeks to maybe up to 4 weeks. If you do want to check to make sure that they're ready, you could take one and cut the stem at the base of the bulb. Now, if it's nicely dried up and it's not green, it's not moist, then you know that it's cured and it's ready for long-term storage. After curing, now you can clean up your garlic stalk. You can cut the stems, trim the roots up, pull off that dirty skin that's on the outside of the bulb. That way they look nice and clean. And that's pretty much where I am here. That's what I've done at this point. And you can see how they look pretty nice now, just like you'd see at the store. The storage process also is one where you want to provide good air circulation. What I like to use is a mesh bag, and you could even use a brown paper bag. Keep the bulbs whole. Don't crack them open until right when you're ready to use them. And store them in a dark place. The ideal temperature, somewhere between 55 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Also at a moderate level of humidity, maybe between 40 to 60% humidity. At lower temperatures, that is going to trigger sprouting. At very low humidity, the bulb could prematurely start to dry out. But at excessively high humidity, you're going to be combating problems of mold and mildew. When it comes time for planting, you can pull all of your own garlic stalk and select your own seed garlic rather than having to buy it year after year. Basically, seed garlic is just a garlic bulb that is healthy and that is moderately sized. The larger the better. Remember though, it's big cloves that make big bulbs. So spread out all your bulbs and look for the ones with the biggest cloves. You can pull those off, set them aside, and then use the smaller cloves for cooking and recipes. Now, not all of us have that perfect root cellar that makes it so easy for us to have uber long garlic shelf life, but we can still preserve our harvest so that it's still available for us to use even through the late winter. I follow my grandmother's tip. I peel the garlic and then I put it in a nice airtight container and store it in the freezer. Garlic can also be stored in oil. It can be pickled, and it can even be dehydrated. So you have a lot of options available just depending on what you want to do. Understanding the right way to handle your garlic after you've harvested it is going to give you a great experience being able to continue to use it all throughout the rest of the season. You're going to be able to enjoy your own homegrown organic garlic, and you won't be dealing with that junk that you find at the store. Many people don't realize this, but one of the problems that is encountered when you get that garlic that is already starting to sprout, it's already green on top, they'll store this stuff at refrigerator temperatures, which at first isn't an issue, but after the garlic has gotten that cold, and then it's gotten warmer to, say, room temperature, that is what triggers the mechanism telling the garlic, hey, it's time to sprout. So by the time you get it, it's at its end of life. But by you taking control, selecting the varieties that you want, getting virus-free, organic garlic from the suppliers that you select, you know exactly how they've been handled, and you can get the best preservation out of your garlic. I hope that this video has shown you some basic suggestions that can improve your experience in growing garlic. I know that for me, it's been fun learning how to do it, and it's definitely been great having my own fresh, delicious garlic available to eat. Thanks guys for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate everybody's support on my channel, and as always, happy gardening.